Hey, Giorgio, how are you?
Good, how are
I
you?
heard you made 100 on intermediate.
Yeah,
You and Lorenzo and Tanda
I saw the grades,
and Jessica Paula. That means you were pretty well prepared in principles, then, was it?
yeah. About the Texas test, one of the questions were like essay questions.
Oh,
Number
no, don't worry
39.
about that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I left it blank.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I meant to take that off.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you at 11.
Okay. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes, but it is live streaming, so actually don't tell any dirty jokes or they'll hear it. Well,
I need to know the last I looked.
Here,
He said, "Oh, yeah, I don't know." So, yeah, I didn't do that. It's just- Spring break.
everybody have a good weekend? Well, we've got 6 of you here, Dad. Got a couple you haven't seen in a long time. Tanner, I haven't seen you in a while, have I? All right. A couple people text me this morning they're going to be live stream, but they never leave their names. They think I have all the West Virginia telephone numbers memorized. So it don't work that way.
Back to this. Some of this I was not understand.
Do what?
Some of this I did not know where they got their numbers from.
Well, I just hope then we can help you out today.
That'd be awesome.
That's what we're here for, Susan. Anyway, I talked to Mr. Imon, 4 of my principal students from last year in intermediate. 4 of them, we went over it in principles last year, but they made hundreds on intermediate tests. That's pretty good on intermediate tests. So glad they got something from principals. Some that are not here probably need to be here, but they're not here. So can't make people attend, and I think it does have to be in class. Morning. Tanner, did you watch any of these videotapes?
Yeah.
Are they coming through pretty clear or?
I'll let you do that.
Yeah. I know if I walk too far away from this microphone that's set in here, plus the computer's supposed to have, the tablet's supposed to have built-in microphone, but it's not too good by itself. Okay, well, let's get down to business and get rid of chapter 13. We got to start chapter 14. Now, folks, just in my opinion, 13 and 14 can be the hardest 2 chapters in the whole textbook. Okay, first semester, second semester, what have you. But we'll do the best we can with it. And need to work some homework problems. Now, what was your homework for the day? We went through 1A. Was it, what, 2, 3, and 5A?
Yeah, you had us do 13, 14 too, I believe.
Or I had to do exercise 13, 14?
Yeah.
And problems,
2, no, not 2. 3, 4, and 5.
all right, let's go straight to exercise 14. For some reason, my book was pretty much turned there. Treasury stock transactions.
Maybe that wasn't it, I'm sorry.
No, that couldn't be. We went over that one.
Yeah, at 1324.
All right, 13 and 24. We'll go back to 13 then. Selected dividend transaction and stock split.
This is, yes. 24.
Okay, so scratch 13 and 14 and go to 24. Okay, I want you to do one EPS, yeah. But please look at that treasury stock, stock dividends, and stock transactions. That's what this chapter's about. Stock dividends, stock transactions, stock treasury stock, and of course the stockholders' equity section. Now, 24, Pacific Gas and Electric Company. We have fiscal years ending in 1, 2, and 3. Determine earnings per share for fiscal years 3 and 2, and year 1, round to the nearest cent. Well, you got net income in year 3. You subtract out the preferred dividends, and you divide by the average number of shares of common stock. So, Susan, evidently you got that one. What is your 3 answers?
For year 1, I got $1.83 per share. Year 2, $3.07 per share. And year 3, $1.81 per share.
All right, let's look at that real quick. Okay, you got 183 year 1, and this was good in year 2, but boy, they went back down in year 3. See, the earnings was, they gave RT dividends, but the earnings was not good in year 1 or 3, but year 2, they had their best year. All right, so that's a little old formula. You can have that written down in at least half a page. I'll give you at least half a page of notes. I say at least. We may have to increase that. I don't know. All right. Earnings per share, growth as a percent of year 1 base year, minus 1%, 68 and 100. Net income, growth as a percent of year 1. Now, Jonathan, how did we come up with these percents? Growth as a percent of year 1. Cole, how to come up with those percents? Well, it's not showing us. Let's take your calculator and let's see if we can do some dividing. This is not something I'm giving you on a test, but earnings per share, growth as a percent of year 1. I don't know what we're dividing into what here. If you use year 1 as 100%, okay, somebody divide 1450 into 825. Don't believe that'll work. Divide 1450 into 825. What does that give you, John? This is 100% here, and here. When you divide 1450 and 825, what that give you? That won't work because we divided 88 won't give you 7. That don't work.
It gives you 1.75.
The what?
Again, 1.75.
Yeah, if you divide the small one into the big one, yeah, but divide the big one into the small one. Divide 1450 and 820.
0.57. 0.57.
That's 57, that don't work. Okay.
What are you doing?
Earnings per share and net income over 3, earnings per share grew 68% in year 2 from year 1. All right, let's see. Divide 307 into 181.
No, it's the other way around.
Is it the other one? No,
No, that's right.
divide 307 into 181.
Right.
What's that give you?
Gives you like 68%.
Divide the big one into the little one. Do you get 68%?
I think what I did was divided both of these numbers by year 1.
By 183.
181. Yeah, 183. Right.
We divide 307 into 183.
No, the other way around.
You'll get more than 100% if you do that. All right, Jonathan, take your calculator, Jonathan, put 183 in it, divided by 307.
0.596.
That don't work either. That's 60. That don't work. All right, earnings per share, first over 3-year period, earnings per share grew 68% in year 2 from year 1. Year 2 from year 1, earnings per share grew from here to here.
I got 167.
167.
1.77.
That rounded off 1.8. So if it's 100%, you take out 100%,
Right.
that will give you that.
68.
But I'm wondering, see if you divide 183 and 181, you see it's going to be a minus then.
Yeah,
It's 2 points less.
0.98%, 0.99%.
Right. Okay, now let's try the same thing here. Divide 828 into 1450. See if that gives you 175%.
Which way are we going?
Divide.
128 into 1450.
Divide 828 into 1450. Will that give you?
1.75.
I mean, it still should work the other way around. Now, Jonathan, try and divide 828 by 1450.
It gives you that 1.75.
The 183 and multiplied it by 68%. You got 124 and added that to 183. We got to 307.
I made it easier just to take out that.
Where'd you get the 57% though?
I got to 68 just because it said it. I don't know where it comes from.
You get it by dividing everything by year 1.
By year
And
1.
taking off that 1.
Yeah, right. And it's obvious if something is 175% in year 2, it goes 75%. Okay.
Sorry.
But that will work. Okay. But anyway, just know that year 2 was the best year. Okay.
Yeah, and how did they expect us to know all that other stuff about Pacific Gas and Electric? Were we supposed to look all that up? I mean,
No, you don't have to do that.
I mean,
No.
that was like nowhere in the book, right?
As long as you can do part A, you're in good shape. Okay. I just want you to know EPS. Was that the last exercise?
Yes.
All right, we looked at problem 1. Anyway, I guess problem 3, selected stock transaction. Now, folks, this is important. Selected stock transaction. Issued 400,000 shares of common stock for $11, receiving cash. Well, you got to look up at your equity section. Common stock is $8 par, but you're selling it for 11. 11 is your cash. Cole, what is your entry for that one? First one.
What are we on?
Number 3, problem 3. We did one last Thursday.
We did 2A though.
Huh?
We had 2A, that's why I'm not.
Susan said we had 3, 4, 5. So what did we
2,
have?
3, and 5.
2, 3, 4.
I write it down.
Well, we'll look at both of them.
All right.
Since we started 3, let's look at 3. And
Sorry.
then we'll go back to 2. Susan, that's okay. Someone about the same. So Cole, what was your first entry? Debit cash for how much?
4,400,000.
All right, and credit.
Common stock for 3,200,000.
All right, and paid in.
Capital of excess of par common stock for 1,200,000.
All right, now that is your generic entry for corporation. Because you hardly ever sell anything just at par. It's always went up to the market. The market's starting to skyrocket again. It's the Dow is over 25,000 again. Some say we'll hit 30,000. The stock market's going up. Your cash is $11 a share. Your common stock is par $8. Your premium is $3 or the difference, and that's called paid in capital. Okay. Okay, Jonathan, let's issue some preferred stock.
Debit cash for 450,000. Credit preferred stock for 375,000. Paid in capital and access to par preferred stock for 75,000.
Almost a duplicate entry. Your cash is $90 a share, your par is 75, and your paid in capital is of course $15 a share, or the difference. And the only difference here is you're creating preferred stock instead of common. Okay, so these are generic entries. You know, you need to know these. Then we purchased 150,000 shares of our own stock. How about that one, Maya?
Debit treasury stock, credit cash for 1,500,000.
All right, that's all you do. You bought the stock and you credit cash. Who's got extra sheet of paper? Let me get a 10 that says it maybe. Sign it, Susan, pass it over to John. We got 50% probably in class and 50% online or somewhere. Don't see any of our baseball players. They didn't have a workout or a game or anything, did they? Too early to have baseball games, I think. All right, D part, sold 80,000 shares of treasury stock for $13. Tanner, we bought it for 10, so we got a gain of 3. So what was your entry?
Debit cash for 1,000,000. Credit treasury stock for 800,000. And credit paid in capital. 40,000.
All right, money is $13 a share. On your books is $10 a share. So credit, treasury stock, and then you have paid in capital of $240. Now you bought 150,000 shares. You got 80,000 sold. That leaves 70,000. So on your equity statement, you'd have 70,000 times $10. That'd be $700,000, I suppose. $700,000 would be the last thing you put on the equity statement as a minus. Treasury stock is a contra account, just like accumulated depreciation or allowance for bad debts. All right, you have the next one. Sold 20,000 shares of treasury stock for $9 a share.
With debit cash for 180,000. And then treasury stock would be
$10 a share would be 200,000, wouldn't it? All right, and the rest paid in capital. Whole lot of cash, 180, treasury stock, 200,000. Here you have a debit fee in capital, because you sold treasury stock for $9, which was $1 loss. $1 times 20,000, of course, is 20,000. And treasury stock, you bought it for 10, you sold it for 9. So this one is a good little problem for a lot of your generic entries. Declared a cash dividend of $1.50 a share on preferred stock and 6 cents a share on common stock. Now, preferred stock, how many shares do we have? We can go up here and see how many did Jonathan issue. How many here? Jonathan did this entry, 5,000. Now, how many in your book have we already issued? They had 100,000 shares authorized. They had 80,000 shares issued. Then Jonathan issued 5 more thousand. So how many shares preferred stock do we have? Come on, this is very important. How many shares preferred stock? Can you add 80,000 plus 5? Right. Now, that's how many shares we have. How much are we going to give them a share? $1.50. Multiply that 85,000 times $1.50. What would that number be?
127,000.
All right, keep that number in mind, 127,500. Now, let's deal with common stock. 6 cents a share. Well, when we started the problem, we had 5 million shares authorized, 3 million shares issued. It didn't stop there, though, because we had 3 million. How many did we issue here? Now, keep in mind, 3,400,000. All right, but we bought back how many of those? Take 3,400,000.
Bought back 150,000.
All right, now subtract 150,000 from 3,400,000. All right, trying to see where I'm going to here. Now we're going to sell 80,000. So now add back 80,000. Then add back 20,000. What do you end up with? What do you end up with?
I came out with 3,3,500.
3 million? No, it has to be 3 million.
3,3,500. So
All right. You came out with 3,350,000.
did I finally say it right?
No. That's okay, Susan. In other words, look at it this way. We had 3 million issued. We issued 400,000. That was 3,400,000. All right, now we bought back 150, but we sold 100. So 50. So you're really subtracting 50 from 3,400,000, which makes 3,350,000 multiplied by how much? 6 cents. Now multiply that by 6 cents. Okay, so what you get when you multiplied 6 cents times 3,450,000?
1,000.
And now take that 201, add it to that 127.5. What do you get? 328. Cash dividends and cash dividends payable. Okay. So be careful when you're calculating dividends. You gotta know how many shares of stock that you're calculating dividends on. You don't pay dividends on treasury stock. All right. Now, it says there's on common stock, there's 5 million shares issued. You don't pay a dividend on that.
Now, that's not.
I mean,
treasury
5 million, huh?
That's not treasury stock that's been resold, right? Still be paid on that.
Right, you still pay on it, yes. You don't pay dividends on issued. You don't pay dividends on authorized. You pay dividends on what's outstanding. 3,050,000 was outstanding. Then we paid the dividends. That's pretty easy, okay? They had some calculations here, you see. 80 plus 5 times $1.50, and 3 million plus 400,000 minus 150 plus 80 plus 20, and we should get the same thing that we calculated. But I want you to run through those calculations. This is a good problem to study for the test. All right, and we're supposed to have number 2. Let's go back and look at it. All right, we bought a building that was valued at $3 million. Now I'm just going to go back and show you this one pretty quick. We're issuing stock, but we put the building and land on the books for what they fair market value. Fair market value is what a willing buyer and a willing seller are willing to do. All right, and then we take common stock at 35 par. And the rest, whatever it would be, subtract the par from the appraised value, and you get paid in capital. Here we're just issuing preferred stock again and getting paid in capital of 80,000. And here we're borrowing money on a mortgage, and we're debiting cash and credit mortgage notes payable. So the only entry differ here, you should know these two by now, but this one, when you take land or building, make sure you put them on their fair market value. All right, now we did assign number 4. But you're paying cash dividends, you're issuing common stock, and you're issuing treasury stock, and you're buying back treasury stock, and you're declaring a dividend. 4 and 3 are almost the same. So now we'll look at 5.
There's a place in there, we'll talk later, because there was some stuff that I didn't understand.
Which one, number 4?
Yeah. But-
Oh, no. No, if you didn't understand it, everybody needs to know it, Susan, okay? So which one?
All right, retained earnings. Did not understand where I got those numbers. You go up to the T,
What transaction was that?
okay, December 31st.
Okay,
It's in the T chart in the very front of the problem. You go down.
all right. Now, folks, on retained earnings, your net income goes into retained earnings, first off.
How do you know what the net income?
We don't know. Let's see. We paid dividends, the first entry. We issued more common stock, and we sold treasury stock, and we declared a stock dividend. We issued the certificate, purchased shares of treasury, declared a 10% dividend, closed the 2 dividend accounts to retained earnings. Now, ultimately, dividends come out of retained earnings. All right? This was just your dividend, but ultimately dividends come out of retained earnings. Now, if you had your T account set up, you'd have your paid in capital, common stock, preferred. Now, Retained earnings, you had a balance of 33,600,000. Okay, now your dividends, you debit retained earnings. Now where'd that 493 come from? Okay, I'll show you that. Where did the 493.8 come from?
We're
Okay,
in the 125 million.
huh?
There's another 125.
Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let me show you. All right. Take 328.5. Take 328.5, your dividends you paid. We paid dividends somewhere else, didn't we?
Stock dividends. Cash dividends payable at the very top, 28,000.
That's the one I missed. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm on 3. No
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah.
No wonder. All right. Right there. Okay. Now take the 28. Take the 28. Add to that other dividends you paid. I mean, we pay here. 43.8.
We have that in there too.
All right, here's your 43.8, right? And then that stock dividend distributable has to come out of that too. It's not this entry, it's on up here, the 450. Take out the 450, your stock dividends come out of retained earnings too. And then your cash dividend. I thought we had another cash dividend. We didn't, did we? Oh no, we just paid these dividends. We didn't declare them. These are declared here. All right, now Susan, you do see where the 493.8 comes from, right? Add up your stock dividends and your cash dividends, right?
I guess, I don't know.
Okay, but no, let's go back up here. You had another problem. Right here. Now, you see where the 493.8 come from. We made a journal entry, debit and retained earnings. Okay? But we had this balance. But now,
Where'd the 1,125,000 from?
well, I'm wondering that too. I'll have to read the problem. Here is the 493. That should have been your subtraction from the 33,600,000. So we got to see where that comes from. Did they make any income or what did they say? They have to give us another amount there. Let's look at the retained earnings statement. It has something to do with figuring out net income. We'll look. All right, retained earnings. Now, net income. Where did they say we got net income? It's got to be in that problem somewhere. I mean, we can't just throw that out
Well,
there.
that's the problem.
And that looks like what they did.
Did anybody else do that?
There's nowhere it mentions net income, is it?
I didn't see it.
I don't either, Susan. That number is not there that I can see anywhere. No, that number's not there. The numbers we have provided is here, here, and here. And that's okay. But they failed to give us this amount, net income. Net income increases retained earnings, dividends reduces retained earnings. It's like a capital statement. Capital plus net income minus withdrawal. But now, Susan, there's nowhere to find that.
Thank you. So thank you, 'cause I was really going crazy about that.
Well, if you look at that problem, yeah,
Problem now.
it's just a number they stuck up there. There should have been another little sentence in these instructions that net income was. So sorry about a problem like that. Now on this one,
Somebody else did it.
I know Susan did it and you have to do an equity statement, but there's one journal entry on here that you need to know. Even though problem 4 wasn't assigned. Everybody needs to go back and look at this one journal entry. When you give a stock dividend, you give them 4%. That's 75,000 shares times 4%. Then multiply that by $25. So your stock dividend is $450,000. All right. And then your stock dividend distributable is par, that's 18,000 shares, and the rest is paid in capital. Now, 375,000 shares, what you started with, you must have sold 70,000 more. So beware of that entry. And then here you send the stock certificate to the owners. Stock dividends distributable debit and credit common stock.
And when they talked about down on 28, on December 28th, this cash dividends. So it's 375 shares plus 75,000 shares plus,
Plus,
why did they add to stock dividend shares?
because that is the stock. See, they issued common stock for 18,000 shares.
It's not cash,
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
That's stock. You'll go get a dividend on that new stock you got. Yeah. Well, we can't walk away from this and leave you in the dark. I want you to go over and look at problem 4B, page 669, problem 4B. If you don't have a book, maybe you can sit beside somebody that has a book, what have you. You need to practice this. Now on 4B, we're going to work this one totally out, Susan. And I want y'all to make the first entries on the 15th. Take a minute, then you work, you know, if you didn't do 4A, then you got working papers for 4B. If you don't have working papers, use plain paper. All right, now, we paid cash dividend, 6 cents a share on common. It had already been recorded as a payable. So we just simply debit what on that one? Monique, what do you think? What would you debit, Monique, for that first entry? I mean, Ashley, Monique's not here.
Where did they get that number done?
Now, wait a minute. All right, did you take paid 6 cents, multiply that times 620,000, okay? Sydney, what did you have on that one? 6 cents times over how many thousand shares?
72,000.
All right. Did anybody get,
Number they had there.
yeah, where did the 48,000 come from? Okay, reading the problem again. We had treasury stock of 48,000. I didn't tell you to subtract that out. You got 620,000 shares of stock. So subtract out this treasury. I've always said you pay a dividend on the outstanding and then multiply by 6 cents. All right, now, how much did you pay for your treasury stock? You got 48,000 shares. How much did you pay for it? Per share? $6. Now you're going to sell it for $6.75. Okay, now make that second entry, folks. I know you can do that one on treasury stock. Debit your treasury stock. Credit your cash. All right. How much was that? How much you sell it for? I hope you sold it for $6.75. It was on your books for $6, and you made a profit of 38. Is that what y'all got? You sold it for $6.75. You bought it for $6. You made a profit of 75 cents. It looks like you sold all 48,000 shares. All right, now this next entry, folks, is a generic entry. We sold common stocks. I'm just going to show you that for a minute. If you want to copy that one down, go ahead, but I want you all to work on the next entry, a stock dividend. All right, you've got 900,000 shares, 620 issued. You have no treasury stock now, so you got 620. Multiply that by 3%. Multiply all your common stock times 3%. All right, how many shares of stock are you going to give out? 3% of 620,000. All right, Susan, where you at?
I don't know. Sharon, you're going to the stock dividend?
Yeah, I'm down on 14. I'm not showing it yet. I want.
Oh, you didn't do the cash one?
No, I just showed it because we've had a lot of common stock transactions. We sold 200,000 shares at 8. It was part was 5 were stated, and the rest is paid in capital. In excess of stated value, same thing as par value. But we moved on to the stock dividend. All right, what is 3% of 620,000 shares? Cole? What's 3% of that?
18,600.
Gonna add those 200,000 shares that we just sold or not?
Oh boy, yeah, let's see. Yeah, how about that, Susan? Thanks for showing us. We sold 200,000. All right, if we sold 200 more thousand, now how many shares do we have? Is that 820,000? So 820,000 times 3%. How many shares is that?
24,600.
24,000 what?
600.
Now multiply that 24.6 by 750 a share. That's the market value. And then multiply that 24.6 by $5 a share. That's the par value. That's what you should have came up with. But I wanted you to see how to get it. 620 plus 2 times 3%. That's the 24.6 times 750 market value. $5 market value. There's the 24.6, and the rest is paid in capital. Stock dividend. You may have that on the next test. All right, now we got to send those stock certificates out to the people in the mail, and that's when we debit stock dividends distributable for 123, and we credit common stock for 123.
Are you ahead already?
What?
Are you already ahead of us here?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're just issuing the certificates?
All right, now some of these folks issued distribute. We purchased 50,000 shares of Treasure. All right, then we did a dividend. But here's what I wanted to get down to on this one. We bought Treasure stock, no problem. We've had that in 2 or 3 problems. Now we're going to issue a cash dividend, but be careful. We had 620,000 plus 200 plus the dividend of 24.6 minus treasury stock of 50. That's what you pay 8 cent dividend on. So be careful when you calculate dividends.
Ask a question.
Yeah.
Why, did we take out that 61,500 when we did the stock dividends distributable?
What do you mean? We
Okay,
took,
we just gave them the 123, which is the shares times 5.
well, you up here on,
Yeah, it's just the next little bit. Stock dividends distributable, 24.6 times 5. Gives us 123.
all right.
Paid in capital excess of stated value, they didn't get that.
No. Okay. Now, your stock dividend market value is 24,600 shares is 3%. The market value is 750. That's 184.5. Your par value of $5 times 24.6 is 123. You got to subtract and get the difference, 61.5.
Why didn't they get that too?
Huh?
Just wondering, why didn't we distribute that too? I don't understand.
Oh, okay. Or 250 a share times 24,000. No, you only distribute the stock, which is 24,600 shares. If you were a stockholder here, if you were the total stockholder, you're getting 24,600 shares worth par value 123, and that's what they send to you. They send you the stock
They
certificate.
just pocket that up.
No, but the corporation keeps it and paid in capital. Yeah, they send you stock certificates par value. That's all they can do. All right, now the rest of these are pretty generic, the same as we looked at a minute ago. But here, the same things are going to come up here for Susan. Okay, we're going to have beginning retained earnings. We're going to give a cash dividend and a stock dividend. But you all read that problem and see where in the Hades can we find 775,000? They should have gave us the net income, and it looks like they left it out of this problem also. Where in the world can you find 775,000? It'll be hard to do, isn't it? Nowhere in that problem did it say that they made net income. See, if you were working this at home, you didn't have Moodle, it would drive you crazy. If you see it on Moodle, it still drives you crazy because you don't know where it came from, right, Susan?
Yeah.
So you could not have worked this. You could not have done this retained earnings statement. Huh?
You can tell them about that.
Yeah, that's definitely a mistake in the book.
Hard enough chapter as it is.
Okay, I want everybody to have problem 5 and 4, 4A and 5A. Now, you know the amounts. Now, I want you to go back and copy down one figure on 4A. How much net income did they say there was? You'll need this. I want you to turn in problem 4A and 5A on Thursday, and that'll be your bonus on this chapter. Now, you're going to have to copy down 1,125,000 because the author omitted that in his problem. And Susan's already got this one about worked. And do 5A, which was for homework today, so I'm definitely not stressing you out with a bunch of stuff, okay? But today we're going to proceed on to chapter 14. I was just telling Mr. Imel, when I was a professor up here in 1979, I covered the whole textbook. 14 chapters per semester. So I've weakened that down to 10 per semester. So, all right. Now we're going to go into chapter 14, and chapter 14 is bonds. Now, how do we finance? If you start your own small business, Tanner, how would you finance it? You have to put up your own money, wouldn't you? Or you have to go borrow it at a bank. Now, if you got a corporation, you sell stock, which we did in chapter 13. Or you sell bonds, which we're going to in chapter 14. So corporations sell stocks and they sell bonds. Okay. Bonds have a rating. I think it's in Moody's. If it has a AAA rating, you know, you have no risk, or triple B. You get down to a triple D bond, you may lose your investment. That might be an oil well you're invested in Iraq. And it may become useless. Or the government seizes it or whatever. I know Libya sees some oil wells that Oxy Petroleum on. Their stock value dropped for a while. Okay, so we can finance with stock or we can finance with bonds. Now, the first thing I want to show you about a bond is they're quoted in 1,000. All right, all bonds are sold in $1,000 worth. Now you may trade it in for $1,100, or you may trade in for $950, or you may sell it for $950, or you may sell it for $1,100. So $50,000 worth of bonds payable is how many bonds, real quick? $50,000 worth is how many bonds?
5,000.
How many $1,000 bonds are in 50,000? 50, right? Okay. Now, bonds are also quoted on the market sometimes. Now, $1,000 bond at $100 par is $1,000.
$1,000 bond.
And $100 par sells for $1,000. But $1,000 bond that's quoted on the stock market at 95. When you have this in your book, maybe it's a problem. Think of 95 as a percent. So this bond would sell for how much? How much? Well, pretend 95 is 95%. That's 950. I don't think that's what you said, John. Was? Okay. All right. So now, $1,000 bond. All right. Quoted at 97. You saw this in the Wall Street Journal. 97.5. Now work that out. What are you selling that bond for? Remember, that's like 97.5%, decimal 975. So that bond would sell for how much? All right. So $1,000 bond quoted at 102. All right, 102. What would that one sell for? Everybody got that worked out? It's like 102%.
1,020.
1,020. All right, one last bond while we're looking at these. All right, figure that one out. What does that bond sell for? A $1,000 bond sold at 94 1/4. All right,
942.
how much?
942.
900. Sometimes it's 42.50. All right, that's the same as saying decimal 9425. Decimal 9425 does give you this answer. Okay, now what do you know about present value? Bonds also are sold according to present value. Now, in your appendix, find the present value table. That's what some of these bonds are sold on. There's got to be an appendix back there. Whoops. I think they're after Morning Joe's coffee or something like that.
Interest payments,
Yeah, what page?
A2.
Oh, they're in A2. That's Morning Joe, isn't it?
A2s.
Oh, in your appendix. I mean, okay.
Interest payments, right?
Yeah, that's what I want. That's where they are if I can get by Morning Joe. Should be right after Morning Joe. All right. I'm finally there. Interest table. All right, present value. Present value. Well, when you take finance, we should have future value. Now, there is future value of a lump sum, future value of annuity, present value of a lump sum, present value of annuity. Now, if we talk about past value, that was yesterday gone. Okay, past value. Susan, what do you remember a postage stamp selling for? The least amount? 6 cents. I think I remember a 3-cent postage stamp. And now they're what, 48 cents? All right. What's the cheapest we ever bought a bottle of pop for? Do you remember 10 cents? That's what I remember, 10-cent bottle of pop. Down here in the machine, what, $1.35? See, that's past value. That machine down there has the present value for the machine. Those gas pumps you passed this morning, it's the present value for those gas pumps. You know, 330 or 340, whatever a gallon. So past value. Okay? And I tell the story that when I was, let's say like Jonathan's age, I could take $5 and go out on a date. Okay? Now you can't buy your girlfriend a Big Mac, cars for that and a Coke. But I could take $5 and I could get 3 gallons of gas for $1. That left me $4. I could pick up the girlfriend and take her to a movie. And I think the ticket for $0.25. So that was 50 cents. It left me $3.50. I would get her popcorn and Coke for $0.25, and I still had 3 1/4 left. And we could stop at a drive-in and both have hamburgers, Cokes, and fries for about $1.25. And I took home money, about $5. Those days are gone. That's past value. Today's present value is what you pay for something out there today. Now, let's look in the future. Now, let's say you're going to come into an inheritance of $100,000 10 years from now, and the going interest rate is 6%. So look at A2 and look at 6% and look at 10 years from now. And what is that decimal? Decimal what? 5.5? All right, multiply that by the $100,000 that you're going to get 10 years, 10 years from now. How much? It'd be worth $55,839. All right. So money loses value. Banks don't pay much interest. Your money loses value almost in a bank because of inflation. All right. Now, Monique, Sydney, I'm going to pick on you a minute. You're married and you're getting a divorce. And the court gives you a lump sum settlement when your kids get 18. All right. You're going to get alimony and child support, but when your kids get 18, alimony is cut off, but you settle for a lump sum settlement and your kids are already, all right, 15 years from now, your kids will be all 18 and the going interest rate is 8%. Now, your ex-husband approaches you and asks you, Sydney, I owe you $100,000 15 years from now. And I pay you off now. If I'm leaving the country, now we're going to assume that this is guaranteed money he has to come up with. $100,000 15 years from now. Would you take $75,000 today and settle with me?
No.
You would?
He owes me something.
Well, now what? Would you rather have $75,000 a day or $100,000 15 years from today? Assume you're going to be alive, and your kids are going to be alive, and he's going to be alive, and you will get it and all that. Would you not settle for it?
I don't think I will.
You wouldn't?
No, because then I'd spend it all right then. That would really help me in the long run.
All right. Now, that would have been a good deal if she'd have taken it. She could have invested it if she'd put it back into money and she could have grown and grown. But now look at A3, look at 8% and go down to 15 years. What is that decimal? 8%, 15 years. What is that decimal?
31524.
Multiply that by 100,000. He could have gave her 32,000 today. It should have been okay. Because the present value is only 31 something, isn't it? Okay. Now, the other side of these tables,
Say that again?
Susan, if you get that decimal multiply,
I did get that.
she would have only, the present value of $100,000, 15 years from now, at 8%, is only $31,634.
Right.
Okay, folks, with that in mind, your assignment is to do those two problems to turn in for a bonus. And, all right, and read this chapter real well. And if you get time, work the first 3 exercises in chapter 14. Now, I think I'm going to let you have half a page notes. I've told everybody that. But if you have good attendance from here until the next test day, you can have a whole page of notes. But now, Susan and Jonathan and Cole, you have missed today, everyone. But anyway, so I'll see you Thursday.
Do which problems? I'm sorry.
Just exercise 1, 2, 3. And I will quit recording for today.